Hi everyone and welcome to this very, very special episode. This is not a Monday, this is going out on a random day, we don't know which one day yet.
Yeah.
And this is I'm gonna bite my tongue now, a Tiger 2 tier Patreon bonus guide, but for everyone.
Yeah.
So why are we making a Tiger 2 bonus? Okay, that's gonna go on a mug.
Yeah. Their Patreon bonus guide for everyone. Yeah.
Why are we doing this, Poppus?
We are doing this because this esteemed honorable person has been a Tiger 2 Patreon for 6 months. And if you're a Tiger 2 Patreon for 6 months, you get your own guide or vodcast or something like that for a subject you choose. So you own what we're going to talk about after 6 months, which is, I was going to say amazing. I'm not sure if it's amazing. Yeah, that's amazing.
I mean, we think it's amazing that someone
we're
wants us
happy
to do it, so we're super happy about it. So,
Yeah.
anyways, the esteemed gentleman that asked us to do a guide today is no one less than Mr. Jaydubya. That's at least his nick handle. So that's the guy who wants to do. And what does he want us to do a guide about? I'm going to read it up. One of his asks, and this is the one we picked up upon. So. He wants us, so this is a question, so bear with me. If you're playing a smaller country, what are some of the things you should be doing early that will help you a lot later when you're involved in the war? For example, should I try to build an air force, just focus on AA? Should I try special force, special projects, or use the basics? Are some of the support companies better in the long run than others? If I have a lot of resources, like playing Sweden, should I approach the build-up differently than if I play a country like shitty Belgium? Sorry, Belgians. Sorry, Belgium, but you have no resources.
Yeah.
It's not World War One. Coal. No one cares about coal anymore.
After the DLC, they do.
Oh, maybe Belgium is the big guy coming back. Okay, so that was the ask from our esteemed Tiger 2 patron. So how have we interpreted this and slaughtered this question then? So we thought about
we have done it a little bit late, I can say. We're a little bit behind of these guides, but we have recorded 2 now in 1 week, so we're catching up quickly.
Catching up. We're catching up, and sorry for waiting. We promised you that it would come, and here we are. It's coming.
Yeah.
So we're going to answer this question or this ask in 3 different scenarios. So we've taken and we will go through one by one and like share our thoughts on it. So I hope you're happy with that. So the first scenario is you're playing a miner in single player and you're basically painting the map. You aim to conquer the world. How should you think? Scenario number 2, you're playing a miner in single player, but you're more playing on a historical timeline. So either like a minor Axis player or like a Commonwealth miner, like joining the war around 39. So that's the second scenario. Scenario number 3, you're playing a miner in multiplayer, also following like a historical timeline, like we do in our multiplayer games. How should you think? Those are the 3 scenarios. So single player, multiplayer, painting the map, playing historical and in a faction, and multiplayer historical. Minor. All minors.
Yeah.
That's the scenario. That's the ask. So this is a very long intro, but so Poppus,
it's just 3 minutes. It's okay.
Yeah. Okay. Throw yourself into the first one. Scenario number 1. How should you paint the map?
Snowball. Scenario Snowball. The first thing, and people will not be confused right now. I don't think so. Build military factories. If you're gonna paint the map, build military factories. You don't need civilian factories. You have neighbors with civilian factories. You will borrow them.
That's the key word.
So
you don't have the milk, but your neighbor do have milk. Ask him nicely with the military factories to get the milk.
Yes. So that's the first thing. Yes, if you got a snowball, build military factories. Industry tech, don't care about it. You want to be strong as quick as possible. And
basically what you're thinking about, the key word here is snowball. So you don't have to beat the Soviet Union from day one. You have to be strong enough to beat the next door neighbor that you can eat up to become twice as strong. And then you just need more than he has. And he's an AI player. And and the key is then the world tension. Do you want to share our thoughts on that?
Yeah, because that's really important. as soon as world tension goes over 25%, there's the possibility, or almost guaranteed, that the democratic countries will start guaranteeing your neighbors. And you don't want that, because you don't want to fight with the UK that early. You want to be really, really strong before you pick a fight with the big baddies. Is the UK a big baddie? Yeah,
No.
the big baddies in this scenario,
I
at
don't
least.
know.
Yeah. So there's a lot of things you need to do to keep the world tension down. I made a guide about this also, but one really important thing is take all territory first and then take the last victory point. That keeps the world tension down. Another thing is puppeting. Puppeting, I also made a Patreon guide about puppeting, but puppeting gives you less world tension. And puppets are kind of good. They're shitty AI, so they're worthless as fighting, but you can use them as a manpower pool. You can use them for garrison duties. So picking up few...
And it feels good to have a puppet, right?
yeah, yeah. Then you're still having a friendly neighbor.
Yeah,
You can
that's
borrow
true.
their
That they
factories.
can borrow milk from, or divisions, or garrisons.
So world tension, you need to plan like a route. I'm this strong, so I want to start with this country, then this country, and then go to
it's like
this
the
country.
classical, it's kind of like the montage scene in any movie, right?
Team America.
Yeah, Team America. Yeah, you basically want to do like the stairway logic when growing, right?
Yeah,
And then all of a sudden you're strong enough to beat the Soviets, and then you're done, or the Germans, right? So
yeah,
and I think a nuance to this. I mean, it's very, of course, different depending on what country you pick and what neighbors you have to eat up, right?
yeah.
So, for example, playing in South America, then usually maybe that's default from the start of the game that the US have guaranteed all your neighbors.
Yeah,
But
was a long
I
time
think
ago
I
I
think
played
they
in
have,
Latin America.
but
Yeah,
doesn't matter. The point is that, like, if you're playing somewhere, and you shouldn't be too afraid of the AI playing a big country, because they need to naval invade you across the globe usually. And if they
yeah,
do naval invade you, it's quite kind of easy to defend against, or just like guard the harbors against the AI. And then they land somewhere they have no supply, and then you just kill them. So
yeah.
you shouldn't be too worried about that. So then it's usually quite easy to like conquer all of South America, or conquer the Central America. So something like that is usually quite easy, even though you end up in a war with everyone.
Yeah.
So yeah, but and I think also, like, regarding snowballing, I think that if you do that kind of play style, then it doesn't really matter how you design your army or anything. You just need more than
Yeah.
your next door neighbor when growing, and then at some point you can start getting fancy stuff. But you shouldn't start building tank divisions. Just something that
No.
has stats enough to attack. That's basically
Yeah.
what you need.
First thing is that you need enough troops to hold the line.
Yeah.
And when you can, and if you can afford it, a few good troops, like a spearhead.
Yeah,
Or
that can punch through.
yeah.
We're talking more like, in this scenario, we're talking more like World War One style, like Stosstruppen,
Yeah.
like the German. I can't. Sorry for slaughtering German language, but
Yeah.
the attack units, that was like the prototype for the Blitzkrieg that used the
Yeah.
armor later, right?
Infiltration tactics.
Sect, Hans von Secht's design.
Yeah, you're the World War One buff.
Yeah. Anyway,
But we're talking about a little bit about being a one-trick pony, and as you start out, you have to be a one-trick pony because you probably don't have the industry. But I would say the first thing after being a one-trick pony is like either going armor or actually air, because you don't need that much airplanes. If the enemy doesn't have any air and you just push up like 20 airplanes, then you get air superiority and a lot of buffs. So a couple of airplanes could be nice.
And
And CAS, yeah.
Because CAS is crazy powerful if the enemy doesn't have any air. Yeah, if they don't have any air force, then it's the CAS you want. Like, if they have 0 airplanes, then you just need like 100 CAS and you're golden, basically.
So
but
one factory each can do a lot.
I agree with you. So, like, if you still have, even though you're snowballing and if you have limited industry, I would either go for like heavy on the air build with infantry to make like your infantry really strong against your opponent, And like then you can have crap infantry. You just need an org wall, and then let the cast do all the damage. That's one build. Or like you say, you have a crappy infantry wall, and then you do some really strong armor divisions instead. And then you need AA everywhere instead.
Yeah.
That's probably how I would think as well. Should we move on to scenario number 2?
Yes.
Or are we happy there? I think
I'm quite happy.
Yeah.
Hopefully our patron is also happy. That's a big thing.
Is happy as well. Yeah. All right. So let's move on to scenario number 2. So scenario number 2 is like you play a miner in single player, but in a faction, and you're following more like the historical timeline. So in my head, you're playing like South Africa or Australia or Romania, something like that.
Something like that.
So so I can start off, open up this one. So it's quite different. Like there's no snowballing thought here. It's more about getting getting critical mass in one thing that you do well. That's how I would think, because you're in a faction, so you have allies, you have a bigger front line, like a bigger perspective. You're in the war on one or the other side, but you can't trust your mates. It's like we talked about World War One. It's like being Germans and having the Austro-Hungarians next door. They're just like the worst next door neighbor, just pulling you down, constantly asking for help. So yes, you might be like South Africa in the Allies, and you think, oh, but no problem. I got the UK, I got the US, everyone's my buddy. Let's go win this thing. And then you get killed because no one guarded you, or no one defended you, or they just left the front line, let you alone there all of a sudden. So it's, I mean, I wouldn't specialize like too much. I would still make sure that I would be self-dependent on my build to do whatever I want on my own.
Yeah.
So critical mass, whatever you would do, that's how I would think. So you would still probably need like proper crap infantry, like just to cover up frontline sections so you don't get overrun. You would still need some kind of spearhead units, like either special forces or armor divisions to do your pushing or attacking on your own. So you still need to do that, but here what I would kind of maybe skip the Air Force, maybe skip the, there are some things you could like hope that your allies cover, so you don't need to do everything your own, but I would still focus on critical mass at least.
Yeah, and I want to add, you want critical mass to achieve like one objective, because if you play South Africa, you shouldn't be in Raj fighting Japan, being in Greece fighting the Balkan Bros, and also trying to D-Day in France. You need enough troop and forces, and choose one place where those forces are enough to make a difference.
Yeah, defend your own back first, and then make sure that you don't get naval invaded. And if you're playing South Africa, for example, and then think expeditionary. That's how I would do. Fight, like have enough to fight on your own somewhere, and that might be like a small air force to help you out, or that might be, but you need to cover your do offensive operations on your own.
And going into industry, because that's one of the most important things here, to make sure that you have enough when the time comes. I would say single player in a miner, start building mills 2-3 years before war, depending on your economy laws and so forth. But 2-3 years, I would say it's kind of good to actually have the force you need to make a difference in the beginning. And if you make a difference in the beginning, you start earning both medals, you can earn more army experience, and actually start picking off your enemies. So yeah, you want something in the beginning. You don't want to be able to fight in 4-4.
No, exactly. No, so I mean, it's fun to build a lot of civs, because then you get a lot of mills later on. It looks like you have a lot, but usually the trade-off is just like you say, is better. You're better off building mills quite soon, even though you might not have the perfect economy law yet. So because you need stuff in the field to be able to make a difference early on in the war, or you might lose that theater, you might lose that whatever, right? So I
agree. It's cool to have a lot of factories. I didn't understand why I lost when I played single player a long time ago. I had like 3 times the amount of factories. Why don't I win? And the thing is that I had like 50 civilian factories and 17 mills, because I started building mills in 44.
Yeah, but also just to pick up something that one of the specific questions. So in this scenario, I would think self-sufficiency in a cheap way. So like everything on a budget, more or less. So if I would go for an armored build, I would go for like cheap ass tanks, but get many of them. If for my army, I would definitely put AA instead of building an air force. If I would go for like a tank build, because I don't trust my allies helping me out when I need them. So I would at least reduce the enemy's air with AA, or I would go, for an air build myself and then have crappy infantry. But think mass and think, do whatever you need to do on your own.
Yeah.
Don't be dependent on anyone. That's how I would think.
And we had the specific question about special project.
Yeah.
We didn't answer it in the first scenario. I would say if you play a small nation, don't build special projects. They're way too expensive for it. Perhaps if you're a bigger miner, it could be worth it just to push out a free railway gun if you have the resources for it. But
or I mean, if you're playing it more for the flavor play style, right? You're not trying to min-max. You're playing Australia, and I mean, you're not worried that you're going to get naval evaded anyway, or whatever, Then by all means, build that special project. But it's not. I mean, I agree with you. It's kind of, in that scenario, I would rather get more meals out.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
It would be if you want to make a cool play with it, but that's another thing. Yeah.
All right, so scenario number 3, and this is the scenario that we're very more attuned to.
Miners in multiplayer.
Miners in multiplayer on the historical timeline.
Yeah.
So, I mean, how should one think here?
I will continue saying start building mills 2-3 years before war.
Sorry, I was looking for an overarching philosophy. I'm gonna
that
say
is the overarching philosophy.
Okay.
What are you talking about?
Sorry. Okay. I was gonna say, so I have the keywords. The first one, snowball. The second one, don't trust your don't trust the AI. Get your own critical mass. The buzzword for the third one is
specialization.
Yeah, specialization.
I agree.
Be very good at one thing and one thing only if you're playing.
Because you can trust your allies. It depends on which multiplayer games. But
in a perfect
you should
world,
be able
have
to.
Friends, right? And you want to play the game with friends, and those friends also help you out when you ask for help. So you get
even
1 + 1 is 3. There's no I in team.
Yeah, even if you play with total new players in a server, they want to help you out. They will not just leave the front line because reasons. So
I mean, I just picture now Romania on the Eastern Front where D-Day is landing, and the Germans just disappear to take care of the D-Day. Hey guys.
I also remember that we have had
the tile next to you just get abandoned, and they did a Festning Poland thing now.
Yeah.
And I'm here in Ukraine all on my own. Seen that too many times.
We also seen a couple of people training on their front lines and being totally overrun. So you perhaps can't always trust your allies even in multiplayer.
No, but
more
in a
than
perfect world,
AI.
in a perfect world, you can trust your allies. So this is, I mean, in multiplayer playing a miner, this is, I would argue, this is where you can build that special project, even though it's probably still not the perfect trade-off because it takes time and resources early on. But this is where it could be beneficial to do it. This is where you can go for a heavy tank build as South Africa and have 3 really good units, because you're always fighting together with someone else on the front line. So you can be that punch through ability. It's kind of like having those. I'm circling back to the World War I scenarios, but it's like getting those bridge builders for an offensive. You have some units that are super duper specialized in one thing, and they do that thing really, really good, because you have everyone else taking care of everything else. So you can be good at one thing, and then you just do that wherever it's needed instead.
Yeah, you can
So
always call in air support. You can always ask for naval supremacy
yeah,
from someone else. So
yeah,
yeah,
it's not worth it getting everything you're on your own. But then I mean, the more specialized you are, the more like coordination and team play you need, right? But that's also like how much do you trust your allies? But yeah. But this is where I love those kind of builds, because this is where you can build. Like I could go for a complete support build, or a complete like heavy tank build, or like a raiding build. Like you can
yeah,
do one thing really well, and that's a lot of fun
yeah,
usually. So that's why I love playing miners in multiplayer.
yeah. It's really fun, and you don't really even need that critical mass because yeah, 3 tanks I would say is too few to have a critical mass to on your own actually achieve stuff.
No,
But if you have
exactly.
another ally that you're teaming up with that
Yeah,
has 3 more tanks on the same
yeah.
front line,
And then a
then
third
you can
ally that
start.
has all the frontline
Yeah,
infantry
then you can
divisions as
start
well.
work magic, and the fifth one going in with the air
Air.
support.
Yeah,
Yeah, but I think specialization. There's so much you can do there. You can just be the marine commander in the Mediterranean doing the naval invasions. Just
yeah,
being really really good at doing naval invasions, taking ports, and that's what you do. You can use
yeah.
your marines later on, but you're really good at taking ports.
And here again, there's something that we keep on saying this when we've done like strategy guides and things like. But if you're playing a miner in multiplayer, one of the most critical resources that people have is attention. So
Yeah.
the AI doesn't have attention; they don't care about attention,
No.
because they can do different things at the same time, even though they're crap. But in multiplayer, like just being like going for like a marine commando build, just
Yeah.
like land everywhere, harass, do some damage, take some tiles, jump out again.
Yeah.
That's just stealing that micro from the Germans. So someone has to react.
Yeah.
Just like forcing someone to react, like that's taking the initiative, and that's worth a lot in multiplayer, because one player looking away for a few seconds, that might be the difference between surviving with those like 6 heavy tanks or not,
Yeah.
right?
And that's really, I would say, an allied play usually to steal attention because Axis they're always on the offensive, so they always use all of their attention to something. But as an allied miner, you might not use your attention because you're standing in North Africa waiting for something to happen, or in the
Yeah,
UK waiting for a D-Day that will happen in 9 months
yeah,
when the US
exactly.
is ready or something like that. So I would say, especially for allied miners, trying to take the attention away
Yeah,
from the Axis
yes,
players are
taking
huge.
initiative. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But I mean, we've seen in our multiplayer games, we've seen like Irish players, not people from Ireland, but people playing
We have
playing
seen Irish
Ireland.
people, haven't?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. But anyway, so yeah, like playing a small country like Ireland, you could still have a few really good Marines. Yes, keep on like attacking and making landings in the Benelux region or North Germany or somewhere else, because you could just ask
Norway,
the
which is
yeah,
not
yeah,
even
yeah,
important, but you
exactly,
will
exactly.
irritate someone.
Exactly, and then I mean the UK gives you their support and the naval support you need to make the landings. Then you make the landings, you take some territories. Oh, no one there, continue.
Yeah,
Someone there, get out, attack somewhere else. I mean,
yeah,
it's so simple, but it could be MVP stuff
yeah.
with a few small divisions. So specialization, and make the most out of it, and use your micro to do maximum like damage with the
Yeah.
micro, right?
And build military factories.
And build military factories. Ah, okay, so
I'm quite stoked that in every scenario you didn't mention Navy once.
I mentioned the word naval supremacy. I mentioned
You
like a raiding build. I did.
okay, wasn't listening.
Oh, okay.
I
Okay,
missed
but
that.
anyways,
Yeah.
Jaydubya, you're an amazing person. You're an esteemed patron among patrons. You're
Yeah.
a supporter of naval guides and our dear hobby of making these. So thank you so much for staying on the tier for 6 months and making us do this guide. it means a lot. So if you want to be as cool as
Absolutely.
him, you can check it out. It's in the
Description.
show notes, description, whatever, wherever format this is going out on, podcast, vodcast, guide.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. And for those of you who are still waiting for guides, they will come.
They will come. Yeah.
We still have a few ones to make. We have a few more Tiger Tooth here, patrons that are waiting for the guides, but they're coming.
Yeah,
they're coming.
Yeah, we hope you enjoy, and we hope all of you other guys watching this enjoy this vodcast.
Yeah, and thank Jaydubya for getting an additional guide out of nowhere.
And a great subject. Really love this. Yeah.
All right. So see you guys on next Monday guide.
Yep. Bye.